Today's video is on tools. Mr. Tallfeather, what can you tell us about these Indian tools here?
We'll start with the biggest and the best first. This is what's called a roll pestle. It's made out of greenstone. It was used to grind corn or acorns or any other kind of grain that they would eat. What they would do was take a hollow log and pour their grain or nuts or whatever it was they wanted to ground, and then just pound and pound and pound and grind up their corn, their maize, whatever it was they were trying to ground into powder. This is a smaller roll pestle made out of limestone, used for the same purpose. And if you notice, it also looks like a rolling pin. After they had ground their corn and were making their cakes, then they would roll out just like we would use a rolling pin. And these are greenstone celts. The way to tell the difference between a celt and an axe is the celt is not grooved. But they would haft them on a stick and use them just like we would use an axe. Actually even chop down trees. Of course, this one suffered some damage through the years, but you can tell that this edge can be ground down to a very sharp edge, enough to cut down a tree. This is a even larger celt. The heavier the celt, they say, the heavier the work. This one here has a notch, probably was hafted more, used as a hoe. Because of this notch that has been worn into this particular celt. Probably not a celt as much as it was a hoe for farming. And then of course you have the smaller celts, again depending on the job. As you can see, this one has quite a sharp edge, been used, polished very highly on this sharp end. Now this is a full grooved axe used for the same purpose, but as you notice, it has the grooves for the hafting. The stick would have come up so and then lashed it on with either catgut or leather of some kind. Also another celt. This one looks like more like steatite than it is greenstone because of all the little different particles you see in that stone.
Is that a harder material?
It's a much harder material. The steatite is. And then also they made a pestle. This is a bell pestle. If you notice, it has an indentation here on the bottom. They would take what we call a grinding stone or nutting stone. It's another flat stone that has this same depression in it. They would lay their hickory nuts or chestnuts and bang them, that way they wouldn't jump around whenever you hit one stone against the other and break that nut. Also, it's been highly ground where they would have a mortar, a stone mortar, which would have been a flat, either sandstone or limestone or even a large piece of greenstone, and they would grind much like this, doing the same thing as the roll pestle would do in order, to grind nuts and to grind corn or whatever in their mortar. And then of course the round part here fits very handily into the hand. Also some smooth places here where they apparently had put their thumb and used that to help hold the bell pestle.